Hey everyone, welcome back and happy Wednesday. Okay, so we have a lot to break down here. This has been a big weekend. This past weekend was a big weekend for Erika Jayne, Erika Jayne, whatever you want to call her at this point. She is still not officially divorced, right? It was a big weekend because she opened up her Las Vegas residency. She had a lot of people show up and support her. There's a new man in her life, the two T's in a pod, who they like to refer to themselves as the twats. They showed up. So we have a lot going on, right? Well, when you have high highs, you also get low lows. And we thought that her low lows were sort of kind of slowly going behind her. She was putting them in the past, but then boom, right then and there, you get slapped with another thing. And that's exactly what we're back to talk about. So before we jump in, you guys know how this works. Make sure you do all the YouTube things, smash the like button, show some love, and let's do the damn thing.
It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
I don't know how many millions of dollars people think that this woman has, but they are all coming out of the woodwork for all of it. Every last penny, whatever she has down to the diamond choker on her neck, they want it. And in this particular instance, she's being accused of conspiring with Secret Service and American Express to extort money from a designer. So now there's a whole new lawsuit. Mind you, this is not the $25 million lawsuit that she hinted they were sort of coming to some sort of resolution. It's not that lawsuit. It's not any of the other lawsuits that we've heard about so far. This is something where now it's like, okay, put me to the front of the line. I also want over 10 million plus from Erika. Let's just get into the details at this point. All right, thank you to page 6. I love how they're so shady. Was it too expensive for her? A designer has filed a lawsuit against Erika, 2 of her assistants, current and former U.S. Secret Service agents, and American Express, alleging that they tried to extort money from him. According to court documents obtained by page 6, Christopher, that's the first name of the guy who co-owns Hollywood costume firm Marco, alleges that the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star and her estranged husband Tom weaponized the Secret Service to maliciously prosecute him in 2017 in order to acquire nearly $800,000 refund from American Express. Oh, okay. So the designer, Christopher, claims that Erika gave him and his store consent to charge her credit card for costumes that he created, designed, and supplied for her shows. And he alleges in the suit that she and her 2 assistants knew that they purchased and received costumes and services from him and Marco. However, he further alleges that they falsely told federal agents and the credit card company that the charges to her card were unauthorized. You guys know how, like, if you charge a card, and some people do this, which is crazy because it always catches up with you. So if in fact she did do this, then of course it was going to catch up with her, because $800,000, it's not like, oh, well, somebody charged my card at Starbucks for $19, American Express, and I want my $19 back. And that was not something I authorized. I didn't even know where my card was. It's not the same. This is you're talking about almost $1 million, and involving people like the Secret Service. And we know she did her It's Expensive to Be Me, How Many Fucks Do I Give? All of these different songs, these music videos with these costumes, right? You got to get the costumes somewhere, because I'm sure her and Tom Girardi were not inside the house and wherever they lived at the time. I feel like it's just like, who even gives a shit at this point? But they're not in there like sewing her costumes together, right? Unless maybe they are. But if they were, then I don't think that this guy would even be bringing this lawsuit up in the first place. But I'm not the judge or the jury, so I don't get to make that decision. Let's keep going. So, in the documents, oh God, he's alleging that the Secret Service led a reckless investigation into Erika and her staff's claims and deliberately ignored facts that would help exonerate him. In the lawsuit, he alleges that current and former Secret Service agents Robert Savage, Kenneth Henderson, and Steve Scarance concealed evidence that would have led to an acquittal at trial or prevented his indictment. Wow. So this case, they're saying this case reflects the corruption of the federal judicial system. The Secret Service and United States should have never presented the case to the grand jury for indictment and never proceeded with that prosecution. He's also claiming in the lawsuit that Erika and Tom Girardi bribed one of the I guess Savage, who was the former head of the Secret Service's office in Los Angeles, to criminally probe and charge him with crimes. Savage previously denied any exchange of favors to Girardi and Erika. Now, the designer also claimed in the lawsuit that Amex did not allow him to dispute the reality star's claims that her card was charged without consent. He claimed that the credit card refunded Erika and Girardi over $787,000 and allegedly told the Secret Service that the pop star was a victim of fraud. The problem here is after finding out that the state bar, all of the things that were reported to them, all of the corruption that has happened and has been affiliated with Tom Girardi and the way that he maneuvered, allegedly, if we have to use allegedly, you've seen that this man had a lot of power. And with all of that power, that gives him the ability to make certain moves. And while making certain moves, I'm sure those moves would benefit him. Would I be surprised, not saying that he did anything, but would I be surprised if he wanted to save an extra $800,000? So he said that this was fraud in an unauthorized transaction? No, I wouldn't be surprised by that, because he was also accused of taking and stealing clients' funds. So why would you not call a credit card company and say that this was an unauthorized amount? If you're capable of taking money from somebody who has over 90% of burns on their body, people whose families went down in a plane crash, if you're capable of all of these other things that you're being accused of, if in fact you are capable of doing them, right? Then no, I don't think it would be a big shocker to be like, "Hi, American Express. This $800,000 charge is absolutely ridiculous, and we did not authorize it, so we need you to refund it immediately." That doesn't sound like the most outlandish concept. But again, not saying that that's what happened. So, in 2017, the designer who maintained his innocence was indicted on 9 counts, including aggravated identity theft and wire fraud. 4 years later, federal prosecutors moved to dismiss the case against him, and a spokesperson for Amex told the Los Angeles Times that the company did not commence the criminal investigation of this designer. "We followed our regular processes and procedures throughout this investigation as we dealt with law enforcement. We did not play any role in the criminal investigation of Christopher or his business other than responding to inquiries from law enforcement." Now, Savage, who was pals with Girardi, told TMZ that he was restricted by a non-disclosure when I retired from the US Secret Service to discuss casework during my tenure without their approval. So I would respectfully redirect your questions pertaining to the lawsuit to the USSS Office of Chief Counsel and U.S. Attorney's Office for the Central District of California. Her attorney, Evan, told Page Six in response to the lawsuit, "It seems calculated that Christopher timed this lawsuit to coincide with the rave reviews of Erika's Las Vegas residency opening. Christopher's claims against Erika are entirely without merit. Independent federal prosecutors at the U.S. Attorney's Office made the decision to charge Christopher with crimes no one else. The notion that Erika controlled the U.S. government, or for that matter, a Fortune 100 company such as American Express, is a fantasy." Which also, that's a great statement. And when you put it that way, it's like, of course Erika couldn't have any control over this. But maybe, playing devil's advocate, maybe Erika didn't even know about that part. Maybe Tom Girardi wanted the money back. Or maybe this designer has it all wrong. And maybe they've built up the story in their head. That's the thing. It's like there's always so many different sides to the story. Guys, I want to hear what your thoughts are. Go ahead and comment below. And before you go, again, comment what you think. I'm so curious. Don't forget to smash that like button, show some love, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Love you.